Good afternoon. This is Akashvani and I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. International Day of Yoga being celebrated across the globe today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lead celebrations at United Nations headquarters in New York. Prime Minister Modi meets experts from the health sector, academia, technology and economy in the US. China blocks proposal by India and US at United Nations to designate Pakistan-based LET terrorist Sajid Mir as a global terrorist. IMD says monsoon is likely to advance over some parts of Odisha, Gangetic West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar and East Uttar Pradesh in the next 2 days. Indian shuttlers ages Prannoy and Parupalli Kashyap cruise into men's singles pre-quarterfinals of Taipei Open Badminton tournament in Taiwan. An Indian men's football team to take on Pakistan in SAFF Championship 2023 in Bengaluru this evening. The International Day of Yoga has been celebrated across the globe today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lead celebrations at United Nations headquarters in New York, US. More than 180 countries are expected to join to show their commitment towards yoga. In a video message, Prime Minister exuded pride that yoga has become a global spirit and said that yoga spread across the world is a message of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam.
आप सभी देशवासियों को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस की बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। हर वर्ष योग दिवस के अवसर पर मैं किसी न किसी आयोजन में आप सभी के बीच उपस्थित रहता हूं। आप सबके साथ मिलकर के योग करने का आनंद भी यादगार रहता है, लेकिन इस बार विभिन्न दायित्वों की वजह से मैं अमेरिका में हूं। इसलिए आप सभी से वीडियो संदेश के माध्यम से जुड़ रहा हूं। साथियों, भले मैं आपके बीच योग नहीं कर पा रहा हूं, लेकिन योग करने के कार्यक्रम से भाग नहीं रहा हूं और इसलिए आज शाम को भारतीय समय के अनुसार शाम 5:30 बजे करीब यूएन के मुख्यालय में जो विशाल मात्रा में योग कार्यक्रम हो रहा है, मैं उसमें शामिल होऊंगा। भारत के आह्वान पर दुनिया के 180 से ज्यादा देशों का एक साथ आना ऐतिहासिक है, अभूतपूर्व है।
National level celebrations of International Day of Yoga was led by Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar at Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh. Our correspondent takes a look at Yoga Day celebrations in different parts of the country.
The theme of International Yoga Day 2023, Yoga for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, beautifully captures India's shared aspiration for one earth, one family and one future. Many union ministers attended International Yoga Day celebrations in Delhi and many other cities in India. This year, International Day of Yoga witnessing unique features like Ocean Ring of Yoga, where Indian Navy and merchant ships organizing common yoga protocol demonstration at a port and vessels of the friendly countries in different oceans. Yoga from Arctic to Antarctica is another feature. Yoga on North Pole and South Pole regions is being held at Himadri, the Indian research base in Arctic, and Bharti, the Indian research base in Antarctica. Under Yoga Bharatmala, Indian Armed Forces made a chain of yoga demonstration in unison. Yoga Sagarmala witnessed yoga along the Indian coastline. Anupam Mishra, Akashvani News, Delhi.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that it is a matter of great pride that the world is not only recognizing India's culture but also adopting it. Mr. Singh was addressing Agniveers on board INS Vikrant on the occasion of the International Day of Yoga in Kochi. He said yoga is for spiritual, mental and physical well-being and contributes to the development of the inner self.
यह अंतर्राष्ट्रीय योग दिवस इसलिए भी हमारे लिए बेहद महत्वपूर्ण हो जाता है क्योंकि यह अमृत काल में हमारे प्रवेश के ठीक बाद मनाया जा रहा है। इसलिए इस समय हम जो लक्ष्य निर्धारित करेंगे वह अमृत काल की समाप्ति तक हमारी रूपरेखा को तय करेगा। हमने जो डेवलप्ड इंडिया विकसित भारत का लक्ष्य रखा है, हमारा वह लक्ष्य तभी पूरा होगा जब भारत का प्रत्येक व्यक्ति शारीरिक, मानसिक और आध्यात्मिक रूप से स्वस्थ होगा।
Noting that yoga is a zero-budget investment, he observed that the benefits it offers are immeasurable. The Defence Minister also interacted with the Agniveers. Mr. Singh also inaugurated the state-of-the-art ship handling simulator, Dhruv. In Himachal Pradesh, Information and Broadcasting and Sports and Youth Affairs Minister Anurag Singh Thakur participated in the Yoga Day celebrations organized at Anu Khel Ground in his parliamentary constituency, Hamirpur. Mr. Thakur said that yoga has been an integral part of Indian culture for centuries, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi has played an important role in declaring June 21st as International Yoga Day.
आज आप दुनिया भर के कोने कोने में देखेंगे सब लोग योग मना रहे हैं। ये भारत की एक बहुत बड़ी देन पूरे विश्व के लिए है। हम सबको इस पर गर्व होना चाहिए। आप में से बहुत सारे लोग निरंतर तौर पर योग करते होंगे, जो नहीं भी करते होंगे उन्होंने अनुभव आज किया होगा कि मात्र 20 मिनट में भी आप अपने आप को स्वस्थ रखने के लिए बगैर कोई इक्विपमेंट खरीदे हुए घर पे रहकर भी रोज योग कर सकते हैं, स्वस्थ रह सकते हैं।
Reports of celebrations of Yoga Day also coming from abroad. In Sri Lanka, Indian Navy submarine INS Vagir joined other Indian naval and mercantile ships in the global ocean ring from Port of Colombo. High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka Gopal Bagle, Defence Secretary Retired General Kamal Gunaratne, Commander of Sri Lankan Navy Vice Admiral Priyantha Pereira, and other senior defence officials joined the Navy personnel from Indian and Sri Lanka in the yoga session. In UAE, Indian naval ship INS Brahmaputra participated in the ocean ring of yoga at the historic docks of Mina Rashid in Dubai. The event was also supported by the Embassy of India in Abu Dhabi. President Draupadi Murmu has extended her greetings to all on the International Day of Yoga. In a message, she said, "Yoga is one of the civilization's great accomplishments and India's great gift to the rest of the world." President Murmu said yoga brings together the body and the mind, and it is a holistic approach to life. She added that yoga helps everyone to be in a better position to meet the increasing challenges around. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. Prime Minister Modi arrived in New York last night on the first leg of his 5-day visit to the United States and Egypt. He received a grand welcome on his arrival at the airport, with members of the Indian community cheerfully welcoming him with slogans. Members of the Indian diaspora also gave him a rousing welcome at the hotel with the chants of Vande Mataram and Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Many of them also interacted with Mr. Modi and asked him for autographs. Prime Minister kick-started his visit with a warm discussion with distinguished mathematical statistician, public intellectual and author Professor Nassim Nicholas Taleb. He lauded Professor Taleb's contribution in bringing complex ideas of risk and fragility in popular conversations. He highlighted India's growing startup ecosystem and the risk-taking abilities of India's young entrepreneurs. Following the meeting, Mr. Taleb commended India for its response to COVID and how India has very efficiently dealt with it.
I connect with His Excellency the Prime Minister. We sat down, he mentioned anti-fragile, we spoke about bouncing back from adversity, and we spoke about central risk-taking. So it was wonderful. And I also commended India on the response to COVID and how, India was very efficiently dealt with it, particularly with the food distribution and all of that.
Prime Minister also held a conversation with acclaimed Buddhist scholar and author Padma Shri Bob Thurman. They exchanged perspectives on how Buddhist values can act as guiding light for finding solutions to global challenges. They also discussed India's Buddhist Connect and efforts being made by India for preservation of Buddhist heritage. Mr. Modi also met investor, author and co-founder of hedge fund Bridgewater Associates Ray Dalio. He highlighted reforms undertaken by the government to foster economic growth, including reduction of compliances and decriminalization of large number of legal provisions. He invited Mr. Dalio for further investing in India. After meeting the Prime Minister, Mr. Dalio said India's potential is enormous. He said India and Mr. Modi are at a juncture in which a lot of opportunities will be created. Mr. Modi also met Tesla Motor CEO Elon Musk. Mr. Musk said he is excited about the future of India and added that India has more promise than any other large country in the world. He said he is a fan of Mr. Modi and he plans to visit India next year.
I'm planning to visit India next year. I'm confident that Tesla will win India and will do so as soon as humanly possible. I'd like to thank the Prime Minister for his support, and hopefully we'll be able to announce something in the not-too-distant future. It's quite likely that there will be a significant investment and relationship with India in the future.
Prime Minister also exchanged views with eminent economist and Nobel laureate Professor Paul Romer. The discussions touch upon India's digital journey, including the use of Aadhaar and innovative tools like DigiLocker. The talks also covered various initiatives being undertaken by India for urban development. Mr. Modi interacted with celebrated U.S. astrophysicist, author and science communicator Neil deGrasse Tyson. They exchanged views on inculcating scientific temperament among the youth. They also discussed at length India's rapid progress in space sector, including various space exploration missions being undertaken by India. Prime Minister also interacted with a group of eminent U.S. academics hailing from diverse fields of agriculture, marketing, engineering, health, science and technology. The talks focus on possibilities of enhancing research collaborations and two-way academic exchanges under India's new education policy. Academics also shared perspectives and experiences from the respective areas of expertise. Tomorrow, Mr. Modi will receive a ceremonial welcome at the White House in Washington and hold talks with President Biden to continue the high-level dialogue. The U.S. President and First Lady will host a state dinner in honor of the Prime Minister in the evening. Prime Minister Modi will also address a joint sitting of the U.S. Congress. Prime Minister will be jointly hosted at a luncheon by U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris and Secretary of State Antony Blinken on Friday. India Meteorological Department has said that monsoon is likely to advance over some parts of Odisha, Gangetic West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar and East Uttar Pradesh in 2 days. The IMD said southwest monsoon is also likely to move into some parts of the southern peninsula over the next 2 days. Met Department said maximum temperatures are expected to fall 3 to 5 degrees Celsius over Madhya Pradesh and East India in the next 5 days. Union Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has assured full support and assistance to the states to address the situation arising out of heat wave conditions. Dr. Mandavia today held a meeting with states and union territories and reviewed health system preparedness in this regard. Yesterday, the minister had chaired a high-level meeting for reviewing the public health preparedness regarding heat wave. China has blocked a proposal by India and the US at the United Nations to designate Pakistan-based elite terrorist Sajid Mir, wanted for his involvement in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, as a global terrorist. Beijing blocked the proposal that had been moved by the US and co-designated by India to blacklist Mir under the 1267 Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee of the UN Security Council as a global terrorist and subject him to assets freeze, travel ban and arms embargo. Indian shuttlers ages Prannoy and Parupalli Kashyap cruised into the men's singles pre-quarterfinals of the Taipei Open Badminton tournament being played in Taiwan with straight game wins over the respective rivals today. World number 9 Prannoy took just 26 minutes to defeat local shuttler Lin Yu Xian 21-11, 21-10 in the opening round of the BWF World Tour Super 300 tournament. Indian men's football team will take on Pakistan in the SAFF Championship 2023 at the Sri Kantirava Stadium in Bengaluru this evening. The match will start at 7:30 p.m. The 8 teams which are taking part in the 14th edition of the SAFF Championship have been divided into 2 groups. Group A comprises India, Kuwait, Nepal and Pakistan, while Group B consists of Lebanon, Maldives, Bhutan and Bangladesh. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. International Day of Yoga has been celebrated across the globe today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to lead celebrations at United Nations headquarters in New York. Prime Minister Modi meets experts from health sector, academia, technology and economy in US. China blocks proposal by India and US at United Nations to designate Pakistan-based elite terrorist Sajid Mir as a global terrorist. IMD says monsoon is likely to advance over some parts of Odisha, Gangetic West Bengal, Jharkhand, Bihar and East Uttar Pradesh in the next 2 days. Indian shuttlers ages Prannoy and Parupalli Kashyap cruised into the men's singles pre-quarterfinals of the Taipei Open Badminton tournament in Taiwan. An Indian men's football team to take on Pakistan in the SAFF Championship 2023 in Bengaluru this evening. And with that we end the midday news.